All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. My name is Big Chonis. You guys can find me on Twitter. I am at Big Chonis. I like to share with you guys my best ideas. I take technical analysis very serious. I'm a trader, a mentor, a gardener, a carpenter, a photographer, a videographer, and a chef. Please do your own research. Doing a live show tonight in honor of breaking over 1,000 followers on YouTube. Thank you so much for your continued support. And I want to talk about a little bit about Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we can definitely take your chart requests in the chat room. Great to see everybody here in the chat room. What's up, Randy, Kevin, Bishmoon, Mangyun, Trevor, what's up, guys? Crypto Squash, what's going on? What's up, Mark? Yes, I got, I like to keep the music, keep it fresh, you know what I'm saying? So let's get at it here. All right, so we're looking at Bitcoin here, and I wanted to start on the daily chart, and then we're kind of zoom in a little bit, and then we kind of zoom out a little bit. And the first thing I wanted to bring to your attention here is this line right here, because we have seen Bitcoin find support there. We have seen Bitcoin find support here. And we saw it here. And then it broke. And that was terrible. And when we see lines break, in all charts, we tend to see somewhat of a back test, a confirmation of that line, which was once support, now becoming very strong resistance. So we have curved over here, and we've come back, and look at where we have been stomped out. And we're going to make this guy red. So look at that. I mean, we found support 5,800. We found support 6,500. We found support 7,000. We broke support, and that basically killed this nice little uprising trend here. So now we're back testing it, and we see that many times. So going back in here now, this was yesterday's candle. We're about an hour into this candle here, and yesterday's candle, definitely a spinning top doji, wider body, something of a potential reversal candle. We have to acknowledge 6 days in a row here of really nice green action here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was looking back in Bitcoin on the dailies to try and find another time that we had 6 days in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's 4. That's 3. Is it our big move here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So this is our first time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Since December of last year that we have had 6 full green days in a row. So that's very impressive. So I want to go into a little closer time frame here. I've been putting out those quick videos on Twitter using a lot of the 4-hour chart here. And we can clearly see up here. Let me zoom in and let me get a little more. There we go. So we had a top here, 75.45. We got higher, 75.80. And then we had basically, was that a complete double top? High 75.84.85, high 75.81. 75.84, 75.81. Wow, look at that. So we ended up putting in a lower high by $3.85. Wow. And that lower high pulled this whole candle back and basically has this red candle on the 4-hour that we've been forming the past hour and 15 minutes here. So we found support for several days in this area. Once we were able to break bullish, we had our EMAs expand, as you would see in a move such as this. And back to auto here. Let's look at some other indicators. So this is our RSI here. Let me get this guy out of the way, and let me get this guy out of the way. And we've been watching this line here. I've been kind of playing around, like moving it around, seeing where I feel it. It feels more natural here. Let me actually make it a little bit smaller. There we go. So, let's keep it right there. And then this clearly was our widest break here. kind of come in there. Yeah, that feels right. So, we rode this here. We came up. We rode the top, double tap here. We found a little support. We broke it. We back tested it here, and we found resistance now. So we're clearly falling out of this zone here. And putting in somewhat of a little shoulder here and a little head and a little shoulder here. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Now we're still over 70 here, so this is still bullish territory here, but we've been here for quite a while, and we're seeing a rejection. A bearish rejection here on our stock RSI. I remember the video this morning on Twitter I put out. I was mentioning that this looked like it could cross, but I actually wanted to see it reset lower like we have previously, much lower resets on our stock RSI. So now we're still not even there yet. We still have some ways to go. And even when we get down here, if we get down to the zeros, we can lay down here quickly, or we can be down here for a couple days at least. So we'll definitely see how the price action reacts to if this continues to fall here. But so far we had a pretty distinct bearish rejection on our 4-hour stock. Let's see what our daily stock looks like. Aha! So we're way up top here. Now we've been up top here for longer time periods. The first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth. So 9. Wow, we were previously up here in this upper 90s level on the stock RSI on the daily chart for 9 days here. But now we're only up here for 1, 2, 3 days here, and we're having our first bear cross. Now you see here we had a bear cross here, stayed bearish, but then broke bullish again, and that is able to maintain the stock above the 92 area here. So this is our first bear cross. We're going to see if actually that can complete its crossover. Remember, this is the daily chart, so we have some many hours here for this to play out, but we'll keep an eye on that as well, because if that crosses bearish, starts to head down, that would be a bearish indicator for the market, especially on the daily time frame here. What does the weekly say? Whoa. Well, the weekly still shows a major bullish move is still in effect here. We still have no change in our upward momentum of our blue line here, and we have the red line continuing to follow. So any sign of weakness in the weekly stock is definitely not being shown on the current prices here. So the weekly is bullish. The daily, not sure yet. Could be turning bearish. Our 4-hour is definitely bearish. And our 1-hour is bearish. So we're continuing to see some bearish tendencies in Bitcoin going on here. I wanted to bring up, this line here, this red line, could be in play as a major rejection point until proven otherwise. And how do you prove otherwise? We got to break it. So what would breaking this red line be? Even in a retrace, you could wrap around, something like that, and try and retest it, bounce around and break it finally. But this line has been a very strong resistance so far, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. I wanted to bring up my channel real fast that I use on some of my Twitter tweets. Go back to the 4-hour here. We do see how our upper channel resistance has held very strong, a couple wicks here, and just kind of unable to break. And another, pretty nasty wick here. I mean, this is a shooting star on a 4-hour here. Even though it's a green candle, I mean, this is a pretty nasty wick here. And, the bulls are fighting, though. The bulls are fighting. They bought this up here. It looked like towards the end of the day there, it was going to fall apart. It held. Can we find support in the middle line here? We blew through our middle resistance, turned quick support when we just blew through that. So I don't know how much support this line can hold. We blew through it on the way up. There's a bigger chance if we fail, we could blow through it on the way down, which I would be looking for at least a bottom support test to hold the price. But the main price you really want to keep in your head is, oops, still on my drawing tool here, is basically the major resistance that we were able to break out of, which is around 68.40. This was our inverted head and shoulders people were talking about. Where is that guy? There it is. Here's our shoulder, here's our neckline, and here's our other one. Here's our other one. We broke bullish from it. So if we were going to determine price range from our nut low to our nut top of our neckline. It's about $1,000. So let's take that guy and put it right on the top of our neckline, go up $1,000, and that brings us right to about $7,900 on the price of Bitcoin, which coincides, with some pretty strong resistance if we can break up there. So again, this could play out to a push to 78 to 8,000. But right now, 75 and change has held very firm on several attempts. Our volume is, still strong. It's not that bad. So that was a quick Bitcoin, see what's going on there. And I wanted to bring up quickly, and then we'll definitely go to the chat room, guys. Here we go. So CoinMarketCap, 5 billion in volume past 24 hours. Let me refresh. Yeah, 5 billion. That's better. That's not bad. We had 6 yesterday. We had 6 basically the day before, and we bought them under 3, so that's pretty good. Overall market cap 284 billion. That's pretty good. Look how the Bitcoin dominance at 44.7. That's much higher. We were at 36, I believe, beginning of May when we had our nice little alt run through April there. So the alts are still showing significant bearishness in relation to Bitcoin, as Bitcoin has actually held steady and risen. And in terms of ratio to the alts have definitely fallen. And we keep adding alts. We keep adding them. We have 1,656 altcoins out there. Yikes. So let me go to the chat room here and say what's up. Hello. What's up, yo? Hey, guys. Thank you. Thank you for the congratulations there. I appreciate it. You guys can start putting in some of your alt requests in the chat there, and we can do that. In the meantime, I'm going to take a look at longs and shorts because I have been watching these, and it's some interesting stuff here. Look at this turnover. This is longs. This is Bitcoin longs here. So these are long contracts. And look at this rejection turnover here of long contracts. So we just had a really nice move in Bitcoin, and longs are liquidating. Does that sound right? If we were really turning a corner, if we were really about to break out and end this bearish cycle, wouldn't you see these longs at least have a little more oomph in them, a little more, and you're just not really seeing that. So let's look at the shorts and see if we can see anything of interest there. I can never find it. There we go. All right, now, so I put a tweet out on this earlier today, how I saw a back test. Actually, let's go to the 12-hour. That's better. So this is our wedge. We came down, we broke out of it, rejected here, and this was definitely a mini short squeeze here. And the shorts kind of held on here, and then they basically, today, they just got liquidated there. Pretty rough. And so yeah, a lot of money was lost. People that had shorted Bitcoin basically the last couple days held their shorts for a day here and then just decided to capitulate. But we also back tested here our descending wedge. So that's pretty interesting. Technically speaking, this is a completion of this pattern, and now potentially this can rise. We also have a support here, coinciding with here. So we have historic support, we have a wedge back test, and this could be ready. These are the shorts here. If Bitcoin starts to slide, for this to start to rise. A lot of rejection here, a lot of rejection here, a lot of rejection here. So it would be a long hole, and they've gotten burned before. They were just burned. They were really burned over here. So, and we have this gap here that we still have to fill, I feel, and that's way up there. So this is interesting to see if this can hold here, potentially move higher. All right, let's do some alts. Let's go in the chat room here. And yeah, ETC, I put a tweet out on it a couple hours ago. Actually, let's bring it up, shall we? That'll be fun. Where are you, ETC? Yeah, no, that was shorts. That's the Lambo. Did you guys like that Lambo there? That was pretty sweet. There we go. So I put this tweet up earlier today, and we were watching this long-term resistance line here, and we broke it, and that was great. And then we back tested it here, and that was even better. And we bounced, and that's what you want to see. This was solid support. We broke it, we back tested it, we bounced, but the bounce failed. Bounce totally failed. Not only did we break back into our triangle here, but when we retested it to get out, we got a pretty firm rejection here. That just happened to coincide at the 0.382 fib level here. So the overall, from pre-Coinbase announcement to not top there, that was about a 50% rise. And so far we've come back, well, this was a few hours ago, 16, 17% there. So let's take a look at the actual live ETC, BTC, and see what's going on here. Oop, still on my drawing tool again. So let's get rid of our little triangle, little Dorito here. And yeah, we're still falling back into this angle here, which almost makes me think, are we going to come all the way back down to our bottom support? This line here, if we're falling through? I don't know. If we can curl around, maybe try and retest this line again and break it. I'd like to see that. Let's do a fib on this and see what kind of a retracement we've had so far. Look at that, we're right at the 50% right there. So we've given back half this move here. Remember, we were up 50%, we've given back 25%. That's why we're at the 0.5 fib there. So that's interesting. This could be a place to bounce. 618 is definitely a little bit lower there and coincides with our continuation here of our pennant here. I guess symmetric bull pennant, symmetric triangle breakout here. So that'll be an interesting thing to watch there. ONT, Jeremy Snow. What's up, Jeremy? Thanks for joining us. Hope everyone's having a fun summer. I know I am. Trying to figure out what I want to do this weekend. ONT, interesting. All right, so I must have, these were from an old chart there. So look at, we had, okay, so I did a full fib of this apparently. Here is our top. We broke bullish from our flag there. Put in a lower high, came back, tried to find support here, broke, tried to find support here, broke. Yeah, we're definitely drifting down to 786 territory here. Right around 4,000 Satoshi level. Let's take a look at some indicators here. On the 12 hour, let's go to the 4 hour. So RSI, that's not bad. We only want to hold above 30. It's lower, below 30. So that's kind of bearish. This was worse. This is better. We're putting in a higher high on RSI, putting a lower high on the price. So, I mean, that's a little bit divergence bullish to me, but I'm not really seeing it, especially see how the OBV, this is OBV at the bottom here, definitely trending down here, definitely continuing to sell off. So yeah, I would definitely be looking for 786. Yeah, around 4,000 would be your next area of support, unless, so that's a fib support, but just from a pure previous price history, we do have a little cluster of support right here. It's a 44. So we're pretty close to that there. So we could find some support right here. If that does not hold, then I would definitely be looking for the 78 to hold next. So moving on down, Mark wants DCR. I don't know that one. DCR. Oh, Decred. Yeah, I know Decred. Where are you, Decred? DCR. All right, looks like I've never done this one. So first time on a chart, I'm going to go to our daily, go all the way back. So here was when it came out on Bittrex. We'll use Bittrex, it's okay. Chart's the chart. And interesting here, let me get us off of auto so you can get off of our volume bars here. So look at these large volume bars here back in beginning of December. A lot of load up here, and that was basically a really nice run, really nice run. What kind of an extension was that? Let's take a look. Yeah, we got well over 100% there, so that was very nice as well. So what do we got going here? Let's draw some trend lines. Let's draw some. So here's our hard resistance. Here's definitely our good bounce support. We have another bounce support here. We have a firm resistance here, which clearly coincides to other areas back here where we've definitely had a hard time breaking through. Let's do a fib from just this second leg here. And so we're broken the six. Oh, actually, we kind of found support there on the 618. I think that's close enough for, horseshoes, hand grenades, and 618s. So we're holding up here, so that's good. We're kind of wedged here. If we break this, I definitely look at the 6781, which also coincides with this clear. Where am I looking here? This one. Little cluster there of price history, right here, 786. So this could, we got some, it's gorgeous there, and we definitely held. Let's go in deeper. Actually, let's do a closer fib. So let's take this guy out of there, and let's go into 1 hour. Let's re-auto, perfect, and do that, perfect, and we'll do a fib, perfect. And interesting, we basically, right there, yeah, so we kind of held above the 786 on this little retracement here as well. So, this bottom, about 4 days here, nice little pop. I mean, ideally, you want to hold no lower than kind of where we've already bottomed on this little retracement here. That would keep a healthy bullish continuation here. Let's hold this trend support here. And that could coincide. Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's turn my auto back on. There we go. So we definitely have a steeper grade here, but we actually had something very similar. Oh, that's interesting. So look at our grade here. We're at 60 degrees. And look at our grade here. We're about 70 degrees there. At 69. I'll take that one. So much more of a stronger thrust there, double entendre. But we have our overall trend support. It still could go a little bit lower there. So we're still in a bullish upward movement here from our bottoming back in end of last year. We retested that support back in April. Now we actually put in a higher low here on this reversal. So even if we did come down and retest this line here, we still have continued bullish momentum unless we were dropping it. And you have to acknowledge a slight shoulder with a head. This could potentially form another shoulder here. But if that were the case, I would expect it to go a little higher on that shoulder creation. So keep an eye on that one there. Let's see what we got here. Let's go Naz. Naz? Do I know Naz? Who wants Naz? Yoshester is. Have I ever done Naz? No, not there. Nebulous. Okay, I've never done a nebulous. Whoa. That's why, because it's pretty new. Looks like it came on the Binance exchange at the end of June. And all right, so whenever we have a new ICO, we call it price discovery. This is market discovery. Still looking for a bottom, still looking for a bottom, still looking for a bottom. Oh, we have a bottom? No, we don't. We broke, so we have a lower, we have a lower low from here to here. We're trying to put in a little bit of a higher low here. Could be a little something there, kind of like that. What does the OBV look like? Because that will give us a sense of, look at that. I mean, this is your initiation, drop, drop. But again, there is our OBV showing our higher low as well. Still in a little bearish cross on our stock, and the RSI is actually leveled out. So it is possible this could be a bottoming area for this very young coin. Remember, this has been only for July. Yeah, only for July here. So, but if the triangle holds, you would want to see if it could break bullish. So we basically tested our bottom support a couple times here. I don't see why we wouldn't at least test this top line at least one more time, right? To see if we can break it. The bulls could break it there. That could be something. If we break this here, we're probably going lower. But if we can hold and test here, they might be able to put some sort of stability here and a chance to go higher. You want to go higher, you want to break, boom, 5,500. You break this here and hold it, then we could definitely be talking about calling some sort of a bottoming area in this area, this very young coin. ZRX, I'll do this quickly because I did do a tweet on it earlier. We got this. I mean, this should be bullish. This is a pennant. It's tightening here. I'm a little skeptical of the size of these bars here. I like to see them tighten. This volatility is a little suspect here. We have a low volume situation with high volatility. I don't know what that means there. We have a double top here. We're finding very strong resistance right here. Look at that in our RSI. This is a zone that just can't break out of. Stock is still relatively low, and we do see the OBV taking the hit as the price takes a hit there. I'll go to the hourly. Same deal. You have a bearish cross in the stock. We're still going in this little channel here. So watch this. Until we break this wedge here, up or down. Now down, we want to hold support around 15.7. That coincides with this previous top here. Little wick, 15.9, 16. Yeah, I mean, you want to hold 16,000, and I would go as low as like 15.7 for like a little absorption of a wick. But you want to, from a bullish standpoint there, you want to see this guy turn around and begin to tackle this resistance, which is where we topped out over here. So that's a little ZRX for you, a little ZIL. Nick Godfrey. Hey, Nick, how's it going tonight, buddy? Oh, where are we here? Nub, yikes. NAS, ADA, DCR. 1T, ADA. Oh, I must have missed ADA. I'll come back to ADA. ZIL, 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 ZIL. Nice. Okay. All right. I've done this one before. Yeah, that's right. Long wick rejection. That really was the kicker right there. Brutal downtrend. I mean, brutal downtrend ever since, huh? Look at that. Boom, boom. What does this remind you of? It kind of reminds me of the Bitcoin chart, right? Here's your hump. Here's your lower hump. Maybe we'll do something like this, right? That's interesting. Let's look at some indicators here. RSI. Let's kind of widen this guy out here. So a similar peak, smaller intentions. We did come down here. It'd be nice to put in a higher low there. Are we putting in some sort of a... Oops. Wrong one there. Yeah, this is a support line here that we definitely want to hold. So that'd be important. Stochastics. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, pretty bearish. Trying to turn. Definitely bottoming the 4 hour. But we could be down here for a while. You could be down here for at least a day or two. That's a pretty nasty wick there. This is just today. Oh, this is just today. This 4 hour candle there. Yeah, look at that. You had kind of a clear shooting star there. Couldn't even get the wick to at least where the body close of the previous 4 hour here. So yeah, this one's pretty bearish. You really want to hold. I mean, there. Yeah, you don't break that. 1,000. Yeah, there's not much more room between here and kind of your I want to hold this area here, you know, right there. So let's keep that one. Oh, solid. ETC, already did ETC. Randy, are we consolidating in the mid 6,000s? Six that. Large intervals, BV, what's going on? Which one are you referring to? Yeah, excellent summer. All right, Paul. Awesome. Hey, Paul. Yeah, buddy. Hey, man. I see you on Twitter. Thanks for being a fan. Neo, Crypto Neo. Let's do it. Neo. There we are here. Okay. What do we got here? Whoa. Okay. We have not looked at this for some time here. Yikes! So look at that. We gave it all back. Holy crap! So we topped out. We came down. We held the 0.5. Rejection at the 0.23. Broke right through the 5. Boom. 786. Bounced around. Nice pop. Rejection at the 5. And yikes, 786, sayonara, couldn't even hold it. Boom. We gave this entire move back. Are you kidding me? I mean, yeah, okay, so, all right, so let's just get rid of this fib here because it's useless. And now we have, what are we, double bottoming? Like, am I supposed to believe that this is the bottom now? It kind of just, oh, I have confidence here because we just did all that and gave that all up. Yikes. So let's go back to auto here, see what our larger time frames looks like here. Okay. Okay, so we're here. So yeah, I mean, this is a major support line here. That's why we bounced here in the first place. If we break bearish here, I mean, that's a bad sign. That would put, yeah, like right there. Yeah, I mean, we're talking all new areas here of way old support back in December that we're in price history that we could potentially be talking to if this double bottom fails. Now our stock is pretty pegged off. Okay, so it's definitely in an area for a turnaround. You know, let's turn this guy blue. This blue. That's better. If you see this cross and start going up, that could definitely put in, and you know, this little short-term double bottom test of our stock RSI. So that's something to consider. Our overall RSI is down on the crapper, 24, but we also see how, oops, I keep forgetting to hit this here. There we go. We also see how right here, I mean, we're once again, you know, V bottom, but we didn't get out of it. This is a nasty drop here. So we're getting into oversold territory here, definitely for sure on Neo. What is our daily looking like there? Now here's what's scary. Look how low we were on our daily. Look where we are now. Now we have previous support area here. Look at that. Was rejected. Support. So right there. So there's another indicator of previous support here that we don't want to break. So we are finding, let's go close in here, 2 hour. I mean, this is bleeding like crazy here, but we are in an area where a bounce is possible just from a clear oversold area here. But if basically that daily chart really says it all, if we break through this support line and hold close below it, come back and try and test it and get rejected, we're definitely coming back down here though. So this one's going to be tricky to keep an eye on here because when you give all that back, I mean, it doesn't give a lot of faith in the market right now in this guy here. So stay safe there. Have a drink of my Tito's. All right, let's do some sub SUB. Actually had a sub today. Favorite sub is tuna fish, toasted, lettuce, tomato, pickle, salt and pepper, avocado, a little honey mustard. Delicious. Sub, SUB. Do I even have? I don't have it here. SUB. Substratum. All right. Where do they get these names? Binance coin. Okay. All right. So we got some history here. Let's pull it up. Interesting. So this is where area here. This was our low. We broke bearish from it. We're finding resistance. We're finding resistance. This is interesting. Okay, so two things here. You break out of this line here, we could definitely start a trend. This is very hard. And we also have, oops, actually, I'll use this one. Trend angle to show it. We have a high low there. So high or low, we're trying to get back over this really important trend support line that has totally failed this sub. The sub has submerged. It's gone deep. Back into this area here, which we broke out of here. So this is a strong resistance. If this holds, we could definitely want to see this new trend line, ever so small as it is, started from, it's been around through all of July. It's nothing to sneeze at. So let's keep this line here. Let's keep pounding this. If we can pound this line and break it and close above, this would be encouraging to start a new trend here. Wow, this one went really hyperbolic, didn't it? Boom. And I mean, people, this is a great example here of an unwinding. I'm going to just hide our volume there. Oops. That's better. And wow, so let's fib this. Let's see how far back we are here. Yikes. Some people use the wicks, some people use the bodies. I don't know. I like to find it varies from really one to one. Like if you want to stay consistent, you probably want to use the bodies only. But sometimes like a wick like this is just like there wasn't much history here. There wasn't a lot of like this was quick probably. On the daily, it's probably very quick. So, but either way, when we use the wick, we're finding a rejection 718. So we definitely gave up. We're in the 80s here. So yeah, there's some bullishness here. Let's break this line. Hey Chonis, can you explain LTC long and short charts? Long continue to climb and shorts continue to fall. How does that play into the price of Litecoin? Thank you, sir. And that is from IJPII3. Is that your maiden name? Okay, so let's take a look at here. And Litecoin shorts. Oh, wow, look at that. So look at this giant triangle we've had here, and we broke it. Wow, that's interesting. So this is shorts here. So this is like bullish intentions in Litecoin. This is showing to me that this is the market saying more bullishness on Litecoin. We broke this line here, but when we do break major supports, we do tend to back test them. So I would expect at least, why does it do that? At least a back test. Oops. I guess I should have used that guy down there already. To at least get back up here and test this line here, which would put in a bearish sentiment to Litecoin. We may already be starting to see that. Let me go down to the 1 hour here with this slow curve starting to come back around and actually a slow bottom here. So I would expect to see the shorts on Litecoin begin to start loading up again and at least test our pretty historic trend support line here, right? Since last November, hold, bounce, rejection up here. So we're definitely going to see that test. Looking at the longs, look at that. Longs did the complete inverse. So they broke bullish. This was from May, early July, rejected, came back, and they broke bullish. So thusly, I would like to see this. Solve that eye up. I would like to see this come back and do a retest as well to confirm. Oop, make that red. To confirm that this rejection of this major line here is true, and then potentially the longs could keep going. Why do you do that? There we go. Boom. So that's interesting there. So these are bullish signs still, I would see, for Litecoin, unless this is something where you could argue that you know, where you can have a short squeeze, where you can have basically the shorts over leverage. You can definitely have longs over leverage as well. So we're going to watch this and see if they break significantly in either direction. Hope that explains some of what you're looking at there. Let's take a look here. What else we got here? Tuna sub, yeah, Paul. Our boss of my subway, I love it. VeChain. We'll look at some VeChain, BCD. Big week this week. It dumped a lot. Pay. All right. Market analysis, ACB. Okay, so let's. XRP. Yeah, that one had a rough day too. Day. All right, so let's do Ven. Right. Let's do Ven, and then we'll do ADA. How's that sound? Alts. Ven. Yikes. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, pretty brutal. I mean, talk about a cascade here. This is your classic cascading waterfall of death. Um, Pretty brutal. Getting closer to 786. Yeah, this was an old tweet I did. Must hold area. Lots of price history in this area here. Yeah, right there. The 0.50 was significant to hold, and that broke. And then this broke. The 681 broke. So this is just really bearish here. Um, yeah, nasty RSI here. This is a 4 hour. Just can't get out of this zone here. How low is the daily? Oh my God. Wow. 13. All right. So from a pure technical standpoint here, all right, this is just tricky because from a pure technical standpoint here on the daily chart, this is hella low. Is there a reason this is selling off this precipitously? Stock RSI bottomed out for 9 days here. I mean, technically speaking, histogram of death right here. Long too, like long drawn out, you know? So from a technical standpoint here, I mean, this is close to a bounce. It just has to be. OBV, rough. So yeah, I mean, it's brutal. It's bloody as all hell. I just want to do a fun little TD here. See where we're at here. Yeah, we broke the bearish 9 there and just keep on falling. So this is nuts. How many candles? One. That was 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right there. We're on our second bloody 9. That's interesting. So keep that in mind. This is a daily here. This is today. So we're on our second 9 in a row on a daily here, getting closer to the 786. All indicators are bottomed out here. I mean, from an indicator standpoint, there's definitely room to say this could go up, but it's risky AF right now because of something's happened here. This is technically very disheartening. This is more than just the chart falling apart here. This has some sort of fundamentals behind it as to why this is brutally falling. Okay, so that was Venezuela. I did a chart. Actually. Let's go to the Lambo again. Let's go to where's my ADA chart? Where was my ADA chart? That was earlier today. That was bad ADA. Oh yeah. So a couple days ago, this was our Coinbase announcement news. We had this wedge here, right? We broke it, or we were getting rejected by it. So today's chart shows we had a gorgeous W here, and we broke bullish. We came back, we retested a little bear trap here, and we broke out, and that's gorgeous here. But we got some pretty nasty wicks up here. This was a tweet from earlier today. Bull break of semester triangle. Daily bulls like to hold above the green lines as a break would put the back test of previous support resistance back in play. So a bigger back test could be in play if we don't hold this green line, if we especially don't hold this green line here. So let's go back to our live chart and take a look at ADA. And yeah, our auto's on there. Let's see here. Let's take off our TD for just a moment there. Let's pull our fib. Is that our fib? That's not our fib. That's an old fib. From here. So are we starting a retrace? Well, we have been holding over the 382, which is good. We do have a cross here. What is this? This is our 10 with our 21 EMA. So that's interesting. Remember, this was the Coinbase pump. So our RSI is cooling off, you know. Our stock daily has curved bearish, pretty bearish actually. Double top here, weren't able to fully reset, right? But still bullish, you know. OBV's, it's not bad either. It's strong. It definitely gave some back. People took profits. Here was our bottom, double bottom. Here was our top. But still, not that nasty because we still hold up pretty well here. Now, Bitcoin's going to run the show here. If Bitcoin corrects, this will definitely correct. Probably correct. Definitely correct. The alts will probably fall with Bitcoin. Bitcoin can hold its area here and push again. You could see some more continuation here in ADA. The fact that we did put in a higher low here is still promising. So we're still in definitely a bullish uptrend on ADA until proven otherwise. And proving otherwise would be breaking, oh, look at that. See, we broke this line here already. So now we only really have one more green line to hold here. And we want to hold here. I actually want to hold here. But I'd be okay if we held here to continue our bullish momentum. Remember, this will be I put ADA and I put Zcash, unfortunately, and I put XLM and I put ZRX and I put ETC, Ethereum Classic, and I put Basic Attention Token all in the same category now because potentially they will all be on Coinbase, maybe, and that event in itself will be a tradable event. Let's put it that way. So we'll keep an eye on those. Let's take a look here. I'm surprised you don't mention the BTC bull pennant if you don't think it's very important. So let's take a look at that. Great question. Sorry, from Britain F1. All right. So BTC bull pennant. So let's see. We can draw this a couple ways here. So let's say this is our, we're using the wicks of this one here because it coincides with the body stop there. We can't go low, we can't go higher than this body here. We have a wick touch there. So yeah, clearly, that's still a bull pennant. I'm not going to disagree with that. I would clearly call this a pennant. Here's our bull flag. I basically started from right here, which was our correction there. And, from a technical standpoint, if you want to take the length of the flag and then expand that, so here's our top. Just pull that higher there so we can see a backstop there. And literally expand the width, the length of our flag up here, that would literally put a full completion of that pattern to Bitcoin price at $8,400. And let's go back to auto. And where does that coincide with? Anything of interest? Yeah, we have $8,400, 85, 84, right there. A lot of history here, a lot of history here, a rejection here, support here, right there, right there. So $8,400 is a very recently tested point there. And if we were to extrapolate this being a bull pennant, then it is theoretically possible to get as high as 8,400 for the completion of this move to play out. And to do so, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, I want to break this red line here, which is our long-term trend support turned resistance, and now is being back tested once again, as support. So let's keep going here and see what else is in the chat here. Just want to take a peek here. ICX. Did we do ICX? I think we did ICX. End of July, 2 times current area, and all it's going down. Where did you learn to trade, John Harris? John, I've been trading for about 10 years. I've been day trading consistently for about 6 years, and I've been trading crypto consistently for about 2 years. Um, a lot of my trading was unfortunately self-taught trial and error. I had some money to play with, saved up. I wanted to invest. I wanted to play some stocks. Buying and holding stocks was boring to me, so I started doing a little more volatility stuff like OTC penny stocks, and that gave me a very good understanding of charting and pump and dump schemes and parabolic moves and just all sorts of craziness. But having that background in OTC penny stocks, I have seen um, many stocks do this move in the OTC penny land, where you have a parabolic move where you go up tens of thousands of percent. Um, Thousands of percent, 10 bag, 20 bag, 30 bag, 50 bag, in a very short period of time. I mean, this took, a year, 2017. When was the 1,000 break? Basically from April, to December. So, about 8 months to do that. This move, this 20 bag. I've seen stocks, 20x in a matter of weeks. And then I've seen what happens after when they peak out. Their parabolic move is over. They have a massive correction, and they have a lot of false breakouts, and they have smaller false breakouts, and they have capitulation areas, and they have load up areas. Now, I'm not comparing Bitcoin in any way to penny stocks. It's a completely different animal. Penny stocks, you can dilute and create like a hyperinflation. Um, Bitcoin is capped. It's a capped market in terms of how many Bitcoin will ever be out there in the world, 21 million. So it's different, but from a charting perspective is my point. The charting fundamentals can come into play. Let's see here. Hey Chonis, do you think Bitcoin and alts will act inversely like summer last year? Dennis Lee. Hey Dennis, thanks for the question. So let's take a look at Bitcoin summer from 2017, playing all the hits from summer 2017. So let's just talk about last July, right? So last July we had a really nasty bottom. I don't know what this was. We came into July at our 2600. We bottomed at 1700, and we ended the month at 2800. So we ended the month higher when we started. And when we corrected from this pretty big move here, we actually also had a pretty big correction from that. Not quite the zero point 0.5, and then that bullish move continued there. So we kind of had, I mean, I would definitely call July last year overall a bullish month. The problem is this was all in an uptrend. This is all in a all-time high breakout blue sky uptrend here. So it's tough to compare July's or summer times. I know a bunch of alts had a quick run, and then I believe a lot of them bottomed in August, like towards the end of August there. And that happens with stocks too sometimes. Sell in May and go away. Summertime, slow time. Summertime in Bitcoin is slow time. So, these things happen. So it's hard to make correlations between, times of the year and stuff. However, from a charting perspective, you could argue that the latter half of this year, heading into November, December, similar to what happened last year in Bitcoin, there'll be a lot of attention on it, a lot of look back to what happened last December in Bitcoin. It could be some FOMO, some pushing, some good market sentiment heading into the end of this year. So, of course, we'll keep an eye on that. A couple questions here. Chonis, did you get rich last year? I did not get rich last year. I had some richer feelings in certain times. Definitely felt pretty happy in January. I got lucky in the sense that I had seen parabolic moves before. I was prepared to take profit along the way. Such an important thing to not get wrecked is you have to take profit along the way. It just guarantees you can keep going. And I got lucky in terms of a couple plays I went relatively heavy on. I was into Lumen pretty early. I was into ADA pretty early. Um, what else was I playing? I was into Litecoin pretty early. So I got lucky on a couple coins and a couple alts before they had a real major pop. And that gave me a little more room to play with in terms of some of my plays after that. Let's see here. Bu- 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 good question. Yeah, Paul. The BTC ETF will happen August 10th. No, I don't. I think shocked is an underrated word, but I don't. I just can't see it happening. The market's not ready for it yet. The infrastructure of the Bitcoin ETF is not ready for it yet. There's too many S coins out there that are just not ready for it yet. I would just be shocked if they were like full speed ahead on a Bitcoin ETF. And yes, it would be a violent jolt to the market. Bullishly, I feel, obviously, if it was approved. Because what that really means is it means that you can basically create custodialship of Bitcoin in an ETF. And basically create a situation where you would have a actual hoarding of Bitcoin, where you know that your ETF is backed by actual Bitcoin in some sort of a conservatory situation where it's on some thumb drive in some vault somewhere. But that's good enough sometimes for that. So yes, it would be a very bullish to happen. I don't think it'll happen, and the market may try and pump to get to August 10th, kind of a buy the rumors, sell the news situation. I don't know. I think we'll see how we get closer to it. We'll see how the market hedges in either direction there. Let's see here. Take a couple more alt requests here. Once again, guys, thanks for joining me here as we get close to the hour here. Let's see here. Let's who should? Oh yeah, I guess I'll do Ripple just because this is such a interesting coin here. I saw a lot of people were upset that it wasn't part of Coinbase's announcement to be invited to the cool kids table, and Ripple clearly has not. Done anything in terms of Bitcoin's move here. It's on the complete opposite. This is nasty. This is a nasty capitulation sell off here. We are breaking through an area here where we wanted to hold. Remember, Ripple shot up like a rocket here, and there's a lot of Ripple out there. There's like 100 billion Ripple out there. So we are getting very close. See, look at that right here, right there. What is that? 62 cent 95. Lower 60, yeah, 6,000. 6,000 is our next support area. Look at that. We were rejected here. Let's go, sorry, let's go closer here. You can actually see it. Look at that. Hits 6,000 on the nose, rejected, came back around, broke it, tested again, broke bullish. So 6,000, where are you here? 6,000 is clearly where you really want to find support, and it could, because there's historic support at 6,000. So technically speaking, that could be an area to hold. Look at our stock is a 4 hour, nasty, and RSI down to 15. We've been lower. We were at 10 back in December. So every time I get down here, folks, remember we bounce back. So we're getting back into an area here where a potential risk versus reward trade could be of interest when we get it right around 6,000 there, just based on this past history here. But again, this is fundamentals. This is the overall fundamentals of the XRP token. And is it even necessary to be part of the actual Ripple company platform as a whole? And a lot of this might have something to do with why this downtrend continues with Ripple. DGB, DGB, Nick Godfrey, DGB. I saw some other people looking for DGB. Whole damn squad, Digibyte. Who else was looking for some DGB? DGB. Agreed or DGB Paul on the way to Binance? Oh, Binance. Yeah, who the heck knows when these coins get listed? Only the insiders know apparently, so they can load up on them before they get listed. I mean, that's such crap. And what's about crap? Ardor just popped in my head here. Where are you, Ardor? ARDR. Yeah, this was your welcome to Binance pump here, and this is your thanks for the free money super dump. So this is what happens when a coin gets listed on a new exchange. So remember this next time your bag just happens to get listed on an exchange. You want to get out of this when the 4 hour, is at 90. You know, if you didn't sell there, that's where you wanted to be out, and it was pretty obvious. It's crazy, crazy high. So that was brutal. That's what happens when a coin goes listed newly. So Digibyte, DGB, DGB, DGB. Where are you? There you are. Oh, this is interesting. All right, so let's draw some lines here. So that was our previous low. Say right there was our higher low. Interesting here. So we have this support here holding. This is a bullish pattern here. I kind of like this DGB situation here. What was our retrace on our initial pullback? So we didn't quite get down to the 0.5. It's pretty bullish. We have this descending triangle here. If we're failed to break here, we want to retest 566 Satoshi for another support test. Our indicators, though, are adding lower support. We have a nice uptick in our RSI. Looks stronger. Stock RSI turned. Yep, that's still a bullish cross there. So definitely bullish intentions here. OBV had a double bottom hold, so that's encouraging as well. Let's take a look at the daily, get a little more interesting here. Yeah, we're definitely holding a good area here. Let's do another pattern here just for shits and I said the S word. Shites. Yeah, I mean, you could even go that way and say this is a nice looking bull flag right here. Right? I think that's pretty decent. That's very decent. Yeah, this is bullish. I like this pattern here. This histogram, though, let's get a sense of this here. We did have a double top in the histogram here, so there is precedent for a longer, drawn-out bullishness here. But this is slightly tiring here, so we'll keep an eye on that. But so far, this could definitely be a very nice and bullish flag building here, where a break of this area here and a hold could definitely bring in some momentum. Don't want to break here, which would coincide with this support, and definitely don't want to break, what's it called, 500, which was a good support, a good double top resistance here, which we're able to break out of and test this support. So yeah, as long as we're over 500 here, this is clearly a bullish chart. I concur. Let's see here. Chonis, do you try and feel market psychology, or do you just go by technicals and fundamental news? Great question. I totally use market psychology. I think everything from the psychology of crypto Twitter to the overall world politics and how they can play in uncertainty. The correlation between the stock market. If we break bullish in the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq and the Russell continuously here, that's just more money out there. It's more investor money that they would feel more comfortable putting into crypto. You know, if the markets turn bearish, I'd feel that's bearish for crypto. There was a sentiment that, oh, the market turns bearish and that people will find a safe haven in crypto. I do not see that we're anywhere near there yet. Um, so if we continue to keep breaking bullish, I know the Nasdaq almost looks fully bullish. S&P is very close to looking much more bullish, and the Dow is lagging but still building. But geopolitics can have an effect on that. The ETF news, obviously, Coinbase adding coins, obviously, proof of proof of use. I mean, proof of use is going to be such an important factor with these coins moving forward. Show me a practical application for your coin, for your project, than just this is going to revolutionize the shipping industry or the this industry. Show fundamentals that actually show it working, and then the market can get excited. Let's see big companies, big tech companies get more involved in blockchain and crypto and start accepting it as forms of payment. The volatility kind of hurts that because you want to buy something, and the transfer time alone can cause price volatility to basically change the actual price you're paying for something. So, these are our larger fundamentals that play into market psychology, technicals, and how I view the market. So I keep all that in mind. When I look at charts and when I try and track the progress with Bitcoin. So let's just do a quick wrap here with Bitcoin, and then we'll call it a night. Once again, guys, thank you so much for joining me in celebration of my 1,000th uh, follower on YouTube. I hope to get thousands more. I hope to put out the kind of content that I keep putting out. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Which from all the feedback I get from you guys on Twitter and YouTube, I much appreciated. And I'm working on a mentoring project I talked about last night on Vamp's feed. Um, I'm still finishing up, not ready to announce anything yet, but it's kind of a plan of mine I have for August, which is coming in a few weeks. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. Um, so Bitcoin here. Let's go back to let's go to the 1 hour. What are you doing here? So as we mentioned, we're still in our possible flag here for sure. Getting tighter here. Our volume slowing but steady. Definitely steady. Better than it was over here. Definitely some more volatility starting to build. Oh, I wanted to bring up the Bollingers. Where are you, big BBs? There we go. Okay, so our 1 hour is pretty tight. Our 4 hour is curving back around, and our middle BB on our 4 hours is right at 7,200. Keep that in mind. Our lower BB is racing higher, so that's good. We want to tighten these before we get another big move. And our daily, I mean, look at, let's kind of get rid of this guy for a second here. And we're going to get rid of this guy. And we're going to get rid of... So we were outside for 3 consecutive days outside the upper Bollinger Band. Now, normally I'd feel that's crazy, but they were pretty tight. So even though we haven't had that in a very long time, like, I don't know, ever maybe, 3 days above the upper BB, I'm getting a little deference just because of how tight our BBs were anyway. So a big move would definitely be outside the BBs there. But now you can clearly see we're just getting back into it finally. And on our daily, our middle BB is at 60. 680 there. So, this is still from a BB standpoint overbought. You want this to trend back into the upper thing here. We don't even have, I mean, our bottom hasn't even curved up yet at all. It's almost widening still. So, this move Especially if it breaks, really is the only thing that's going to bring these things a little bit tighter here. But since they were so close here, these could continue to expand wider. So it's kind of your bullish scenario there, that even though we broke out very aggressively above here, we still could have some more expansion in the BBs. It's because of how tight they were in this area here. This is another thing here. You get this tight sideways action in the BBs in the future, that definitely signals a move is coming here, and this one definitely broke bullish. So on that note, thank you so much for joining me, Jersey Guy, Jonathan, Paul. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being a fan. Limber Uncle, Brad, Thomas, Britain F1, Nick. Let's see who else here. Christian, Crypto Omelet, Dennis. Thanks so much, guys, for hanging out with me tonight. Remember, you guys can find me on Twitter. I'm at Big Chonis. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Much appreciated. Thanks for joining me, and we'll get back to you guys soon. Remember, Bitcoin is a heartbeat. All you need to do is trade the pulse. Until next time, talk to you later.